Hey, it's Dan's Models again. And it looks like some HO scale something here.
Yeah, these are a couple of HO scale freelanced log bunk cars that I made. And I think I had these on the podcast maybe a while ago.
Yeah, these are the old cars that weren't very good and you turned them into something good, right?
Yeah, these are
Okay.
they're actually Tyco cars.
Okay. Yeah, I vaguely remember doing a podcast or something about or where these appeared. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, I got a bunch of old Tyco stuff at one point and sort of secondhand, it wasn't like I went out and bought it. It just kind of came to me. Um,
Hold on. I just want to make sure everyone knows Dan would not buy anything Tyco, right?
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them I think was supposed to be an auto carrier, and the other one was something else. I forget. But what I did is I noticed that the actual flat car parts of them were actually not that bad of a model.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're prototype to anything.
If it's Tyco, it probably wasn't.
Probably not. But in any case, they were fairly convincing looking flat cars. But if you got rid of all the other junk that was on top, so that's basically what I did. And then I just started detailing them. I stripped everything off the top, and there wasn't really a deck left anymore on the flat cars. So I got some evergreen styrene, and this is actually, I think, car siding, they call it. It might even be O-scale car siding, but it looked like about the right size boards for flat car deck and HO scale. So I just cut pieces for each car and put it on and painted it. And then I got some Details West log bunk castings and mounted those on top. I could have just made them straight flat cars, but I thought it would be a little more interesting to have them be log bunk cars. Like old flat cars that have been converted. So basically both cars are the same. They're just different colors.
It's funny looking at these. I would never guess these were Tyco.
Yeah, well, that was kind of the idea.
Yeah.
To see if I could disguise them sufficiently. So I think when I got these cars, they actually had truck-mounted couplers. They were like
probably
plastic wheels with the old horn hook couplers. And it was really, they were junk.
Really
totally
bad.
Junk.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that there was this big opening on the end. So I basically had to fabricate a whole new end piece for the cars on both ends with some sheet styrene. And then I detailed that with some grab irons and
brake wheel.
And on the sides of the cars, I cut off the whatever molded on grab irons that were there and replaced them with freestanding grabs. Mounted the Katy scale couplers and a Katy brake wheel on the one, the B end of each car, and coupling levers, and the train airline. I did the markings with microscale decals, and the cars are just. I arbitrarily painted one of them green and one of them brown, just for some variety. This isn't really real. There. The reporting mark is not a valid reporting mark, ALDX. I just made it up. In fact, I picked one that wasn't a valid reporting mark on purpose because they're freelanced. So,
if we had a HO scale TSG railroad, these could be our logging cars.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that they would probably be used in that way, and I might be able to work them into if and when I get working on my new layout, might be able to work them into that. I did the reporting marks and the numbers from just alphabet sheets, and I put the numbers and the reporting marks on different colored backgrounds because I thought that way it would make them look like maybe they were patched at some point, so they'd originally belonged to some other owner.
You could even just have them sitting off to a side on some old unused siding, as you see on short lines in places.
That's
rusting
true.
out.
They could be
cars and stuff.
I mean, these wouldn't really be interchange legal anyway because they don't have roller bearing trucks. So I forget what trucks I used, but these were just some trucks that I had in my spares box. But they do have metal wheels now. They meet my standards for rolling on the layout because nothing rolls on my layout with plastic wheels. I didn't really do anything to the underbellies of these cars because you really couldn't see it anyway, so there was no point in adding brake detail or anything like that. So there's really not much on the underside. I did cut off the original stirrup steps and replaced them with aftermarket ones that are a lot thinner looking.
I'm surprised it even had them.
Yeah, it did, but they were big and ugly.
Yeah.
So I changed them to ones that look, more to scale.
Well, and this is the thing, Dan, and the reason why we even have this Dan's Models series in the first place, because if someone can take a Tyco model and make it look like this, then you're good at what you do,
Yeah, well, there were a few of the other. I mean, it was a set, and I think there was a refrigerator car, like an old wood one, and a box car or something. There was a few of them, and I think I got rid of the other ones on eBay because they were it would have been too much work to try to do anything with those.
You should have saved them for me. I could have crushed them with my car. Well, all right, I guess that'll do it for this edition. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, see you next week.